Everybody, welcome to Building a Healthier Edmonton. I'm here with Sandra Carr, and she is the director for ActiveMD Spa. Welcome, Sandra. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, why don't you take us back and kind of tell us how you got started working in the dermatology field?
I spent many years in administration in the hospitals, so in BC and Alberta. And the last position I held was as assistant to medical director at one of our local hospitals. And I was given the opportunity to come on board raw dermatology and administration as a supervisor. And then I was promoted when we opened up the spa to spa director. Well, that's how I started with raw dermatology.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, you've been in the medical field for some time now on the administrative side of things.
In the administrative side for about 27 years.
That's great. That's quite the career.
Real telltale sign.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen a lot of things in that period of time. What's kind of drawn you more towards the dermatology side of things rather than from the hospital?
More, it's just a personal interest. I think at the time it seemed like a really interesting position more than anything. And then, the more I was involved with dermatology and the administrative part of the practice, the more interesting I found it. It's really surprising. And I mean, for me, it was especially surprising because I spent a lot of years in emergency where you're dealing with the immediate urgent issues of people. And you're not really thinking beyond that there really is other situations and conditions that can really impact a person's life. And with dermatology, I really got to see a different perspective. The first thing that comes to my mind is something like acne, and it can be devastating, absolutely devastating to a person, especially a young person. And it can really affect a lot of their decisions in their life, from not wanting pictures, not grad, being, self-conscious, not wanting to date, to people being concerned about job interviews and the perception that people have of them. It's really unbelievable. Psoriasis, eczema, any of those conditions that are chronic, people kind of think that, it's not a serious thing, but it is. It has a huge impact on them, both physically and mentally. So I really got a really interesting perspective very quickly. And I really love it. I love it. It's just, you feel like you're helping somebody, even from an administrative perspective, all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, without you, there would be no facility to, everything would be chaos. So people would be not getting the care that they need, right? And I find with people who've worked in the ER, your primary job is to determine, are people like actively dying right now? Are they? No? Okay, well,
Yeah,
you go see someone else. Okay, you're having a stroke right now. We need to help you. It's that
exactly. It's
urgent.
immediate.
Yeah, it's immediate, not these more long-term and these other conditions where it affects your quality of life. That's where
Absolutely.
yours is more quality of life and trying to optimize that and helping people, live their best life essentially.
Absolutely.
What are
Absolutely.
so aside from now, I'm sure you know all the jokes probably more than I do about dermatology. There's that popular dermatologist who's like the pimple popper, and a lot of times when people think dermatology, they just think pimples, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah,
skin,
no,
or
no.
or people that just want more radiant skin, but it's a lot more than that. Why don't you kind of talk about some of those things?
So at the spa, the ownership of ActiveMD really wanted to have a model based on being the best you. So we'd like to see people at the very beginning, kind of their skincare journey, when they start getting really aware of the different things that you can do to optimize your skin health. I mean, chronic conditions, you'll see them probably sooner, but we do get, people that have had like acne scarring, where we'll get them to do a ablative lasers, like a profractional, which will take away the scarring, which again feeds into that whole idea of helping them overcome, something that was chronic for a very long time. So we do a lot of things at the spa, from being referred from the medical side to do the lasers. We offer a eco-friendly product line that doesn't have the chemical base in it. So a lot of chemical-based products will have endocrine disruptors, like estrogen disruptors, that will irritate your skin. And there's a lot of stuff in there that's not particularly good, to say the very least, for your skin. So we do offer that. So we do offer a holistic opportunity if people don't want to be on let's say, a medication. And again, I'll go back to acne because that's the first one that comes to mind. If they're happy with just dealing with it topically, we can offer these products, in conjunction with treatments such as facials that are specifically geared towards that. So that is our big thing here at ActiveMD. Is we offer injectables, and they're part of a lot of people's lives, both male and female, but we don't ever want anybody to not look like themselves. It's never our goal. We want you to be the best you, which means being authentic to your true self.
Right, absolutely. So what's, just for people listening, you talked about a certain medicated type of creams and topicals. They have chemicals and endocrine creams, for example. What exactly is that? So how does that affect the skin?
And I'm not a physician, so I'm not saying anything about any kind of medication, but lots of like topical creams that you would use in different skincare would have chemical preservatives. That's a good example. So like preservatives, we don't use preservatives. We use enzymes to preserve our products. So it's a different concept. I find that it's a lot bigger in, let's say, Europe. They seem to be much more into enzymes for treatment than a lot of other treatments. So it's all naturally based. We have a vegan retinol, for example, that's made with glucochiol. That is something that we really believe in and feel is effective. But, you're always going to get somebody that wants to stay. And it's fair enough. You tried and true with your skincare. That's the way it is. Other people are very aware of wanting to go more of a natural route with skincare, and that we offer that opportunity. We really embrace laser technology because it makes your skin produce collagen, and you're not really doing anything that's bad. You're really truly encouraging your body to produce more collagen with laser, microneedling, stuff like that. So we really do try to keep on a natural as much as possible. I mean, there's a place for injectables, and we offer them, but we really do encourage a lot of natural options as well.
Okay, so excuse me. So there's two things I want to touch on there that you mentioned. The first is just that you have, it sounds like obviously we're not a physician. I don't prescribe medication. You're not a physician, but generally you offer a wide range of possible treatment options for people that have various skin conditions, ranging from the more medicated side of things to injectables. But there's also a lot of holistic options out there and it's really trying to find what works best for each patient's needs, right?
Well, we don't see anybody that wants to be treated medically. They're seen by the dermatology next door.
I see.
So they would be seen there and assessed. If somebody says, no, I don't want to be on medication or such for acne, we can offer that holistic option. It depends on what they're looking for. So we basically are a spa, and we really go towards a natural option for you. So we have different skincare lines, and the ActivMD is our own, and it's the natural products that we have. And we have a wide range of products. And we do laser, so we could get a referral for acne scarring for acne scars, that would be something you could do after your treatment. If you choose to do it, if you're on medication, you could do it after a certain period of time. We could do it for you. There's laser for rosacea. There's anti-aging. We have lots of options, lots and lots of options for you to choose from. But we always are, stay true to yourself.
That's Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has their own approaches and thought processes and beliefs and things that they want to hold true to. So it's important individualizing everything for each person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talking about laser, so laser kind of, I feel, gets this bad rap almost because it can be used for so many different things. And can you briefly just describe what laser is and how it's used in dermatology care and how that would differ from, say, laser that we might use here in the clinic, more of a therapeutic laser for, say, arthritis or bursitis?
Okay, so laser in dermatology or in a spa environment, I would say most likely is done by certified laser technicians. So anything that needs to be looked at is always looked at by a physician before it's ever done by us. So it's not therapeutic as opposed to aesthetic. So nothing we would do here would be essential. So what you're talking about with therapeutic would be something that would be prescribed by a practitioner. We do everything. Everything here is considered cosmetic. I mean,
Right.
if you're really lucky, you might get coverage from your extended health benefit or your spending account, but we never can promise that. So it might be wonderful to have done, but it's not essential. It would be something that we would suggest after a consult with a nurse or with a laser therapist. If their concern is anti-aging, we could give them options based on their skin score, their Fitzpatrick score, which, there's different lasers that you can use for different skin types. So you would have a person that is a trained professional that could give you that information based on what you've asked for. So we have a lot of people coming in that would come in for like a cosmetic consultation. What do you think would be best useful? And it's always based on what they're looking for and based on what they're willing to, there's always a cost involved. Everybody has a budget, or most people do. And based on, some lasers take a week to recover from socially. And some there's no downtime. So it depends on what your comfort level is. And some people just want skincare. That's another very common one. It's just skincare. They want to know what they can do to make their skin the best it can be. We always say the best thing you can do, and here's some free thought, is use sunscreen from the very beginning. That's going to be your best anti-aging, and it helps with your overall skin health. It's wear sunscreen every single day.
Even in the winter times here in Canada?
Even in the winter time, yes, because in Alberta we get a ton of sun, right?
Right. I think I've been burnt a few times in the winter. It's just like, why is this happening? But the sun's still out, right? During the daytime.
All year round, even when it's not sunny and when it's 30 below, wear your sunscreen.
Interesting.
If you do nothing else, wear sunscreen.
Okay, so that's tip number one, is definitely wear sunscreen. So
Always.
what does the sun do to kind of cause this or accelerate this aging aspect in our skin? How does that damage it?
Well, speaking, as an administrator and personal experience, sun can cause a lot of damage to your skin. Obviously, everybody knows the risks involved in sunbathing. But it can also cause a lot of age spots, fine lines, wrinkles. And by the time that you're catching it, you're repairing it. When you come in, let's say you do a laser, you're repairing. If you start really early, you're not repairing, you're preventing. So that's where we like to have people come in young. There's your best advice. We can tell you can do this and this and this and this, and it'll make a difference. The biggest difference is going to be take care of your skin as early as you can and wear sunscreen every single day. And you won't have to fix, you just prevent.
Yeah, I think it's the ounce of sugar is where, or ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? It's much easier
Exactly.
to, yeah, it's much easier
Exactly.
to maintain things and try to prevent them from happening rather than after it's the damage is done, trying to repair that. It's oftentimes costly and takes a long time as well.
It does. It's time intensive and it can be very costly. And if you have a procedure done, stay out of the sun. You don't want to spend a lot of money doing a procedure such as laser resurfacing. It's not a it's costly. So you want to make sure you're protecting your investment too. You can't just go out 6 months later. You'll end up where you were before you did it the first time, and possibly most likely do more damage than you had before.
Right. And of course, wouldn't be good. So, of course, we know skin is a huge part of our health. It protects us from the environment. It protects us from getting infections, etc. And obviously, from a psychological and social perspective, it's the first thing that people see when you meet people, and that's obviously why there's a huge industry in why skincare is so important. What are some other tips that people can utilize on their just a day-to-day basis on their own to try to optimize their health of their skin and keep it looking, as healthy as possible?
So the biggest thing is keep your skin, obviously well hydrated. I know a lot of people now are having trouble with maskne. And Dr. Rao actually has a really good podcast or not a podcast, an interview that he had done. Oh my goodness, probably in the fall. And that's really worth taking a look at. I believe it's on the Rao Dermatology site. And he talks from a medical perspective, but keeping your skin clean obviously is the biggest one to take care of during this pandemic. Keep your skin well hydrated. Don't put your skin in any situation where you're exposed to the sun for unending, amounts of time. You want to protect yourself, especially that way. Moisturize is a big one. That's a huge one, and keep your skin healthy. Retinol is a really big one, especially with a lot of beauty bloggers. I find, I try to keep really up to date on this industry, and we're finding laser is becoming more and more popular, especially during the pandemic, because people have more time at home. They're not out to be seen, and a lot of people are and rightfully so. If you want to go to an office after you've had an ablative laser, you might scare some people because it doesn't look so good. So it's a great time during a pandemic to do it. But protect anything you do for your skin, protect it. Sunscreen, hydrate, and you want to moisturize, and retinol tends to be a really popular one as well.
Are retinols, is that a cream or is that an oral medication?
Oh no, it's just a cream. And what we do is we just have over-the-counter retinol, and we usually, it would be after consultation, and a physician would say, this would be a good idea.
Okay.
And I mean, there's you don't want to use retinol if you're pregnant or
right,
anything like that.
Right, because one issue with topical creams, especially with women that are pregnant, is obviously you put something on your skin, it gets absorbed into the body, and then that can circulate. And with a lot of topical creams and that you guys use possibly, and like certain like anti-inflammatory type creams, for example, those can go into the body and they can affect the baby. So that's why there's labels on everything. Don't use if you're pregnant, because when we don't really know what it does to the baby, and we want to try to minimize any potential harm.
Yeah, and we don't do that here. We're not physicians. We're not prescribing anything, but we would, there's certain things that the physicians we would ask there, and anything like that, we would say we wouldn't be selling. So.
Right, and you guys work in close relationship with some dermatologists, right, Dr.
We do.
Rao?
Next door, Dr. Jaggi Rao is our medical director. So anything medical is done through him. We do not, everything we do over here is cosmetic. We do not do anything medical. It's just cosmetics. It's all beauty cosmetics.
Okay, that's great. It's great to know. Is there anything else that you'd like people to know, or any way that they can find you guys if they're interested in helping their skincare and helping it stay as healthy as possible?
Yeah, come in. We offer free consultations for you. There is no obligation. We're not high pressure by any means. And we'd be happy to see people. They just have to look us up, ActiveMDSpa.com, and also take a look on the Raw Dermatology site as well. So yeah, you can see our medical director and owner. And that's what I say, anytime. Just give us a call and we'll do our best to accommodate consultations.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Sandra. I'll let you get back to your day. And thank you, everyone, for watching or listening. And we'll talk to you next time.